How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. Yeah, back with a little bit of Equal Parts Brewing up in this piece in the form of their Kaizen. Yeah, this is a Japanese-style rice lager. Comes in at 4.6% alcohol by volume. This was canned a bit over 2 months ago from the great land of Texas. Beer snob Rob down in Texas sent this off to me with a big old box of Equal Parts and Oddwood stuff, so kind of excited to dive into it. Let's see what's what. Label-wise, it's cool. It's kind of like a peacock feather, is what it looks like as far as art design goes. Washed out little peacock feather, something like that. But I don't know if it'll come off on camera really well. But if you can see, there's almost like blank negative space iridescence in there because of the can. Smart little art design there. I actually liked it, and the way they laid it out from the font design and the whole nine. I actually quite dig it. I have a fruit fly in here. Why is there a fruit fly in my beer room? I have not done a beer review in a week. There should be no fruit flies in there. Anyway, let's see what we got going on. So yeah, I dig the label. Beer-wise, definitely looks as part of a soft little, slightly unfiltered kind of lager. Definitely the rice lager portion of the show. As far as looks go, let's get a nose. That's a lager. I mean, you're talking about lager expression on as far as a yeast kind of phenolic and nose lager-wise on here. A little rusty in the beer reviews. Give me a minute. It has a sweetness that's mostly coming from the rice, but then you get this little bit of kind of like little funky kind of lager kind of yeastiness, which really kind of drives home the fact it's a lager through and through. No way mistaking this. It's not sulfur, but a little bit of egg, not even egg farty, but almost it's like a little farty thing going on there, and not in a negative way either. It just comes off as a soft, slightly sweet. You always want to lean into kind of sake when you're dealing with a rice lager, but it's not nearly that level of sweetness, but there's that little tinge of it going on there, and this nice kind of lager yeastiness. Let's dive in. Cheers. I'm going to say this, and I mean this as a compliment. It's like an artisanal upper level version of High Life. A lot of macro adjunct lagers, they come off a little bit more kind of sake like, a little bit more kind of rice lager life because corn, rice, more than anything else, you're seeing that stuff in these kind of macro adjunct lagers. A lot of people look at it as like kind of poopy and it's kind of gross and blah, 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 blah. No, because, a nice, beautiful Mexican lager with some corn, you get a little rice lager here with some rice, you can get some really nice flavors out of those things. Get a nice crispiness, get a nice kind of lightness out of it, and that's what you're getting here. But there's just this extra level of yeast to it that kind of just takes this beer and kind of elevates it beyond just your basic kind of macro lager. When I say it kind of reminds me of kind of an artisanal kind of souped up version of High Life, I mean that. Again, I mean that in a very, very positive sense, because it's one of my favorite beers. It's actually one of my favorite kind of just have in a fridge kind of beers and drink all the time kind of beers, and that's where this one kind of really tickles me pink, because it does remind me of that to a certain extent. And like I said, you're getting that in like yeast being quite a bit more prominent in here, maybe a little bit different kind of bittering going on. Not that High Life is all that bittering, but it's got like a little bit different bittering, so almost the same kind of bittering level as High Life, but just a little bit different, and then just a little bit, even though it is a crispy boy, a little bit kind of softer finish on it because of that kind of non-super hyper filtered version of the show. I think this is really tasty stuff. And like I said, a lot of people sit here and might hear me kind of associate it with High Life. They might view that as me kind of pooping on the beer. Again, I implore you, that is not the case here. And the funny part is, if you go to a lot of breweries and you see a lot of brewers drinking after work on the clock, more often than not, they're going to be drinking High Life or something akin to that. So I think this is actually a brewer's beer, something that they probably wanted to brew to chug in-house, drink this straight out of the bright, and just chug the living crap out of it. I'm just glad they actually put it in 4-packs, and then Rob got some and tossed some my way, because it's absolutely fantastic stuff in a very delicious way. It's fantastic. This is one of the better rice lagers I've had as of late. Yes, this is Mount Rushmore status. It's just hitting all those notes that I really like these beers to kind of hit in a very fun way. So I dig it. I think it's fun. Yeah. What else? Value and availability on this. He told me what he paid for them. I forget. I think the Equal Parts stuff's just a skosh more, maybe $12, $13. It's in a box over the list. I just never fished it out because I'm a jerk. It's delicious. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like High Life, but you like craft beer, you'll like this. There you go. Reviewing the books. Thank you very much, Rob, for sending this off. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little equal parts right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.